Well, hello everyone, it's Jim Lynn here, Mr. Lynn's Workshop. Yeah, sad news. Found out yesterday that David Charlesworth had passed away on Sunday, the 22nd of May this year. I knew David was very ill, and I've been checking the website at least once a week, looking for news. Didn't want to keep emailing the family or bothering them, but yeah, I found out yesterday. It's sad news. He was very ill. He had COPD for 7 years or more. I just thought, even though I haven't posted a video for quite a few months now, it's over 5 months, I'd just like to talk about David and what he meant to me. My style of woodworking is his style of woodworking. He was my teacher. He's the only woodworking teacher I've had, and I've done 4 courses with him, but it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm one of thousands that have done these short 1 week courses. And yeah, my philosophy in woodworking is his. It's the same. We have the same attitude towards accuracy, the same desire to get the best out of hand tools as far as we can. And he was linked quite heavily with Lee Nielsen Tool Works, and that's the kind of tools that I like to use. But so how did I meet him? Well, way back in 2004, I was using power tools, and I converted my garage into a small workshop. And one day I was using a router table, and I was doing everything right, but the router table grabbed this finger and took it back through the bit and cut the tip off, and so I was kind of laid up for a while waiting for that to heal. And I was watching a show that used to be on the television called The Workshop John Built, a guy called John Revell, and John built this workshop, and every episode he would visit some craftsman or some machine maker or something like that, and he visited David Charlesworth in his workshop, and he showed David planing end grain with a hand plane. And I don't know why, but it's just an eye-opener to me. And I thought, wow. So then when I was laid up, I went to his website and had a look and found that he had courses. Anyway, because I wasn't a training captain in those days, just about to be, but wasn't. So I couldn't get any time off, and I tried to go on his tool tuning course in 2004, but I couldn't get the time off, so I went in 2005. So that was the tool tuning course. That was a revelation. I mean, in 1 week you can take an old Stanley 5.5 plane and tune it up so that it cuts like the best plane you've ever had. It's simple, and the way he explained it was wonderful. There was 5 of us on that course. We had an absolute blast. I got to know David reasonably well. Went back the following year for the dovetail course, then the year after that, 2007, for the drawer making course. And then quite a bit of a hiatus, because he didn't have any other courses at that time. And then in beginning of 2018, some friends, some other families and us went for a holiday in Coombe Martin in North Devon. And I took the notion to call David and see if we could come and visit, and he said, aye, fine. So myself and my mate Rob went down to Hartland in the workshop and had a cracking afternoon with him. He was happy to explain everything. I think he really enjoyed getting the visitors. He wasn't very ill then. He used to use an oxygen tube cannula, I think it's called, most of the day, so it was beginning to affect him a bit. But anyway, he said to me, I've got a new mortise and tenon course coming up, so I signed up for that, and we went there in October 2018, and I was the only one on the course. He was down to about no more than 3 students a week then, but I was the only one, and it was wonderful. I mean, I had David Charlesworth to myself for a whole week, and he said at the beginning, David, Jim, I can do this course in a couple of days with you, so let's just go down any rabbit hole we think up. We can investigate the entire workshop, look at any tool, whatever you want, and we did, and we had an absolute blast. It's a unique opportunity, for instance, to try out all the sharpening jigs that are out there to see which one I liked the most, and surprisingly I liked the Veritas one just better than the Lee Nielsen one, only because I thought the Veritas one I found easier to adjust. The Lee Nielsen one's excellent as well, by the way. So we had a blast, had dinner on the Thursday night, and in that dinner he told me his life story, how he came to be where he was, and I suggested that he write a book about it. He's written 3 books, so I thought, write a book, David, you've got to get all this down. Don't know if he ever got around to it, and I can't remember much about the stories, so that's somebody else's department, I'm afraid. But yeah, but the one thing I noticed during the course was that he kept having to stop and fill up a little oxygen tank he wore on his back with the tube coming around to his nose, and he was noticeably slower than I remember him. Last year, the same guy, Rob, and his family and us were down near Devon at the end of October, and I emailed to see if I could visit, but Therese, his assistant, said that no, he's too ill for visitors. And a couple of weeks later he said that he emailed me privately and said that he was seriously ill, he had swollen legs, and he would see me in the future. So, but he never did. So, yeah, he was a man of precision. He taught the things you learned in his courses, you use elsewhere in life. I'll give you an example. I did the dovetail course and the drawer making course, but since then I've never cut a single dovetail. But the philosophy of precision that I learned on those 2 courses has stood me in great stead, and I've applied it in all my work. And you can see these workshops all built by hand with no power tools, just hand tools. That requires precision, otherwise it ain't going to work. So yeah, yeah, he was a mentor. I like to call him a friend. He was certainly the biggest influence in my woodworking life. I've got other influences like Christopher Swartz and Rob Cosman in particular. But yeah, a sad passing. David Charlesworth, 22nd of May 2022. Good night, old friend.